Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the road to 180-pound pull-up. We are back at it today. Today is the first day of the new training cycle, pull day number 1, and we are getting ready to, I guess, start the day. Workouts not for it's long. It's probably like 10 hours away, but we're here. We're getting hydrated in the morning. Just weighed in. A little bit heavier than last week, but that's to be expected coming on deload. A little bit under a pound, not anything too crazy. We'll try to burn it off, and we'll see what happens going forward. But yeah, getting ready for the day. Long work session, but the goal is to get fed, get prepped, relax a bit more, still use the last of the rest period before we go and we start to crush it again. All right, work is done and the deload has done its work. I am ready to get this workout in. So pull one workout, main focus, just need to get through front lever holds and feel good through my one arm pull-ups. And then we'll start with the heavy weighted. I'm gonna go up to 125 today, adding a little bit more rest in between. And then, yeah, hopefully able to maintain that weight for about 5 reps. We'll see how it goes. And we can make any adjustments going into week 2. Feeling a little bit heavy right now. But that's pretty typical coming off a deload, not as much activity, and then trying to refuel the body. So we'll see how it goes. The second week is usually always better, but let's go crush it.
For my warm up, I did some ballistic stretching and then went into my set of scapular retraction into explosive pull ups. And they didn't feel anything too out of the ordinary, but maybe slightly heavy. From there, we started off with front lever holds, 2 sets, pretty good today, 20 seconds and a 17 and a half. Form gives out a little bit, but it had been better than it had in previous weeks, which is always a good sign. Keeping my arms as straight as possible, trying to activate my core and squeeze my back. Didn't want to tire myself out too much for the work to come, but felt pretty good. We then transitioned into one arm pull ups, 2 sets of 4 reps. Wanted to keep it moderate in my intensity here to save myself for the weighted pull ups, but felt a little bit heavy today. Reps weren't as smooth when exploding upwards. A little bit clunky in the movement patterns. Just didn't feel as confident as I had in previous weeks. So hopefully over time, as my body adapts to the new training cycle, I'll feel a little bit more light and explosive and save myself a little bit going into the latter parts of the workout. We then move into weighted pull-ups, and I want to start practicing with the thinner black plates. And honestly, they're such a struggle to put on and then actually get up into position, especially if the weight of the actual plates are different. So you can see me having to take a deep breath just before actually getting ready to get into the movement. First set was a bit of a struggle trying to get about 5 reps, but we're a little bit short on the 5th rep. First 4 reps felt pretty good though, so can't complain. Just maybe a little ambitious with 125 pounds. Second set, much of the same. 4 reps felt pretty good, and then the 5th rep was a little bit of a struggle. Not as great as the first set, but nothing too crazy off. About 0.85 of a rep there. I'm content with that for now. It was definitely a heavy weight for the day. To get 5 reps, I really want to be able to chain together 3 reps together at the start and then have enough strength for the last 2. For the third set, only able to chain together 2, so I knew it was going to be a struggle. Fourth and 5th rep were both really brutal, but all in all, able to at least put in the work today and build towards a next week's workout. 90-pound pull-ups actually felt decent today. 3 sets of 6. The goal is just to try to get anywhere from 6 to 8 reps and build that up over time. Want to get the first 4 reps chained together, potentially up to 5, and go from there on the last 2 or 3 reps. Also, I was looking sweaty and jacked, just saying. While the goal is 180 pounds and trying to get heavier and heavier weights, the 90-pound rep range feels really good for me. It doesn't overstress me, and it feels like it's a good muscle building weight, which is something that I'm going to need as I'm doing these strength lifts that are going to be very taxing. It's a nice, reliable weight I can go back to and get some quality muscle building. One thing that's not necessarily muscle building is my one legged front lever, but it is helping to build up core strength and back stability and keeping movement patterns fresh. So I can't ignore that, especially if I want to maintain my front lever going forward. And after doing the other pull up iterations, it's not too stressful on the body. This also gives me a little break before we get back to muscle building with the 45-pound weighted chin ups. Chin ups, of course, hitting the bicep, mostly for aesthetic purposes, but also getting a little bit of back activation and muscle building. 10 reps showed here, felt good, a little bit tiring, but then we finished off with toes to bar and TRX rows. They felt pretty good, very tiring overall, but I'm very proud of this workout and I'm glad to be where I'm at.
Workout done, and it feels good to be back doing the hard stuff again. But man, was that gym hot, and did I feel a little bit heavy today. I think maybe I'm a little bit bloated, but can't really complain. Front lever was back to some of my better numbers in a while, so that felt really good. The one arm pull up though felt a little bit heavier, not the best compared to the previous week when I did 2 sets of 4. And then the weighted pull ups, I probably should have dialed back to 115, but even with 125, able to get 4 reps and a good struggle rep trying to go for 5. So that'll help me going into the next week. So overall, no big complaints. 90 pounds, was able to maintain 6 reps across the board. Always a good sign. And then the other accessory works, holding par where I wanted them to. So I'm going to chalk this up as a win. Time to recover, get some good food tonight, and keep pushing forward.
For date night, did not record much. Shelby and I went and got subs from a new sub place. I had the Philly cheesesteak, was very good, and then went and got insomnia cookies. The peanut butter cup one is my favorite, especially with a side of ice cream. Thanks for sticking through to the end. I really appreciate everyone. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I always want to improve and get better at these videos, and I'd appreciate the feedback.